Hey everyone, okay, I got this question. I was recording a podcast this morning for the Q&A podcast. So if you're on iTunes, go over to the Brian Keane Fitness podcast, or if you have an Android podcast addict, I think is the best app to use, and hopefully be on the website in the next couple of weeks. But I got sent in this question I'm actually going to do a full video for it because it's a really good question and I get asked it quite a bit. Basically, should you be doing ab exercises even though you have a bit of belly, or should you lose your belly fat first and then do your ab exercises? So this is the same for somebody who's looking for a flat stomach or six-pack abs, because the process is very, very similar. The podcast episode is how to get a six-pack or a flat tummy, but I'm going to expand it a little bit now, because generally what people do is they will try and get their body fat down, and then they'll worry about training their abs and getting their stomach flat when the body fat has dropped enough. That's not what I advise you do. I would actually start training your abs now while your body fat is higher, so that when it reduces, you're actually going to be able to have your abs underneath or have a flat stomach underneath. The key thing is to make sure that you have everything on point in terms of your nutrition, your training, and your supplements that are all going to support you towards that goal. So your nutrition, you want to be spacing your meals every 3 hours or so, keeping your blood sugar stable so that you don't get bad cravings and that you don't get hunger pangs. Cut out processed food and different ingredients that may upset cravings, so different sweeteners that can mimic insulin in the brain and completely offset your cravings, which makes a nutrition plan really hard to stick to if you find that you keep breaking because of cravings. And then supplements, making sure you're using fat burning supplements and prioritizing things like green tea extracts, L-carnitine tartrate, maybe CLA or caffeine, as opposed to creatine and beta-alanine, which are amazing supplements as well. But if you've only got money for specific ones, make sure you're using ones that are more towards fat loss specific. But I would advise that you do your training with your abs while you're reducing body fat. So assuming you have everything else in place with a good nutritional plan, a good training strategy, and a good supplement, make sure you're training your abs while you're reducing body fat. So the key for me is something that I generally say to people and they go, oh, I never thought of it that way. If you're trying to bring up your abs and you're trying to flatten out your stomach and that's your main priority, start doing them at the start of sessions. Like in my online program, there's a cardio and abs day, and the abs movement are at the very start of the program when you're at your freshest. If it's a priority, do it when you're fresh, when you've got a better mind-muscle connection with it, and when you can focus on the quality of the reps. The reality is, to bring up your abs and make them more pronounced, or to flatten out your stomach if you're a girl, depending on your genetics and your hormones, you want to make sure that you're hitting them with quality movements that you can feel. Like, I've had people talk to me in the gym and be like, oh, I can do 100 reps or 100 crunches or 200 crunches or whatever, and I'm like, you probably can't though. I was like, because I can do 8 or 9, maybe 10, and then I've got to stop, take a break, let the air out of my stomach because the contraction and the pain is so much. That's how you train your abs, the same as every other muscle group. You want to hypotenuse them. You may go into a higher rep range, but you're still working on quality tension style reps that are going to tear fibers down and make that muscle grow back the same way as any other muscle in your body would grow. Like, to be able to do 100 reps on it means that you're working your hips, it means you're working your traps, your neck, you're working something else, you're not contracting your abs. So my advice would be, do it at the very start when you're fresh, and find the movements that work the best for you on your abs. I was working with one of my VIB clients in LA 2 weeks ago, and I was telling them the same thing. I was like, find the ab move that works best for you. So you trialed a couple of different moves. I've got 3 or 4 in my online program, and literally was like, double down on that one. So the one that works the best with you, double down on that movement, because that's what's going to make it shape better for you. So if you get, and you're doing a Swiss ball plank and you get an incredible burn and stretch on that, double down on that movement. Make that the movement you do every day at the start of your workouts for 3, 4, 5 weeks, and then switch movements and then do another one. That's what's going to work, because you're using things that works for your body's own biomechanics, and those movements are going to work better for you. So training those, I generally, if I was trying to bring up my abs, and when I used to compete and when I would do photo shoots regularly and things like that, I used to do my abs at the start of every workout. I'd only pick one movement and I might only spend 3 or 4 sets on it, but they'd be 3, 4 really quality sets. You do that over 3, 4, 5 workouts every week for 4, 5, 6 weeks on a good nutrition plan training strategy, you're going to change your body composition in your stomach. You're going to get abs faster, flatten out your stomach much faster, and it's going to work incredibly well for you. So that would be my advice, would be, don't wait until your body fat drops. Start doing it now. So as you start to drop body fat, the abs are already underneath, or your flat stomach's already underneath, and then it'll look as if you've had an amazing transformation, which I'm sure you will have, but it'll be a case of, because you've hit everything from all angles and it all comes in at once, as opposed to dropping body fat and then starting to train abs and then trying to build that up, which can take much longer. So I hope this video helps. Please like and share the page. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you're on Facebook, I'll be replying for comments for the next 24 hours.